It's easy for a supervillain to think that they're the darkest thing in the universe, but for Danger Dex, he's about to find just how dark things can really be. Things much darker than a supervillain, much darker than even a human could conceive, in the Cave of Wonders. "Are you sure this is the place?" Danger Dex said, standing in front of a dark cave. "I'm sure," the Native American shaman said, covered in furs. "Okay, let's go," Danger Dex said. He adjusted his red goggles. "No," the shaman said. "What? I paid you to take me here," Danger Dex said. "I will not go into the Cave of Wonders. It is not for men." Danger Dex had heard, way back in the city, that there was something in this cave that he needed. Danger Dex was a bit insecure about himself when he measured against the other supervillains. After all, he didn't have superpowers, just technology. He adjusted his infrared for ultra darkness and stepped into the cave. "All right," Danger Dex said. He adjusted the knives and guns on his belt. He thought back to his years of training. He could kill anything that moved. Whatever this Cave of Wonders was, at the core of it, there was a wish that he could do to develop any superpower he wanted. He would do anything to get that wish, no matter what was in this cave. The first thing that Danger Dex noticed about the Cave of Wonders is that it didn't look like a cave at all. Its walls were made out of metal. It was almost like a spaceship. "What is this place?" Danger Dex said, looking at his reflection in the silver. He went deeper and deeper into the silver cave. He tensed, ready for anybody to jump out at any moment. He simply went deeper and deeper into the cave. "A man plaything," a voice said. "How interesting." Danger Dex whirled around. "What?" He lit up one of his electric knives and searched for the voice, but there was nothing. "Are you invisible or something?" Danger Dex said. "Nothing so rudimentary as that," the cave said. "So, Dexter, what's your wish?" Danger Dex thought he had to fight something, kill something to get his wish, but if this was all that the Cave of Wonders was, he was okay with it. He breathed tall. "I wish for the ability to do anything that I want. If I think of something, I have the ability to do it." The cave said. "Smart one, aren't you?" "What?" Danger Dex said. He swung around with his electric knife, but there was nothing there. "You're supposed to give me my wish." "Oh, you have to reach the end of the cave to get your wish," the cave said. "Good luck, though." And Danger Dex heard footsteps coming up from beneath the cave. He grit his teeth, ready for fighting, but he didn't see anything. He just heard the running footsteps, running faster and faster and faster. He swung out a wide arc with his electric knife, and he cut into something, leaving blood onto the silver floor. "What?" he said, and then suddenly he was knocked down to the ground. His stomach got ripped open by claws. There was nothing there, and yet things were cutting into him. They were invisible. The cave laughed. "So what? I made them invisible so you can't see them. Forgive me for wanting to have a little fun." Danger Dex bled out onto the floor. These were monsters and they were completely invisible. He switched infrared visions, but he couldn't see anything. He swung wildly with his electric knives and cut into blood, but there were too many people around them. "Ah!" Danger Dex said. He crawled on his stomach back towards the entrance of the cave. He felt claws dig into his back once. He shot wildly with his gun, hitting something, but again, it kept coming. "Poor little man thing," the cave said. "You think you're so strong, and yet you are so weak." Danger Dex grit his teeth. He'd been called weak his entire life. He would not go there. He uncapped 3 grenades and threw them behind him. "You don't want to do that." A grenade landed on Danger Dex's chest, about to explode, but Danger Dex activated his shield at the last second. Boom! The invisible creatures became visible in death. When Danger Dex looked at them, there were 30 of them. He patched up his wounds in his stomach, in his back, using packs of healing that he had gained from superheroes he'd killed. But still, he was half dead. And the monsters, they had long jaws, with knife-like jaws going over their face. It was like nothing Danger Dex had ever seen. "You can still leave, you know," the cave said. "That was only the first trial." Danger Dex looked at the entrance of the cave. He took a step towards it. "That's right," the cave said. "Who needs superpowers anyway? You're doing just fine on your own." Danger Dex thought about all the superheroes he killed. He grit his teeth. "You know how many people with powers I've killed?" He turned towards the cave. He screamed, "I'm stronger than them and I don't even need powers." "Then why are you here?" the cave said. "You're here because you know that you're inadequate. You're not enough." "Enough!" Danger Dex said. He threw a grenade deeper into the cave. It exploded, but the cave just laughed. "You think you can hurt me? If you want to, you have to go much deeper. Danger Dex walked deeper into the cave, gritting his teeth. He would find the thing that sent invisible creatures after him, the thing that mocked him. He would prove to it that he was stronger. He would get his abilities in the end. The cave shifted, becoming more cave-like. There were magma fissures running along the sides of the cave. Danger Dex did a reading and saw that he was 1,000 miles below sea level. He was getting close to the core of the earth. Trial number 2, the cave said. After this, you get to meet me. Danger Dex whirled around with his knives, ready for another invisible creature, but instead, he saw a beautiful young woman walk out of the darkness towards him. Danger Dex grit his teeth. I know this is a test. The young woman tried to say something to him, but Danger Dex stabbed her through the heart. She fell to the ground, looking at him in the eyes. Why? The woman said. Danger Dex looked into the darkness. He switched his goggles for different danger readings, and then he saw boom, boom, boom. Honey? A big, dumb voice said. A giant, 3 times the size of Danger Dex, wielding a giant battle axe, looked at the dead woman on the floor, then up at Danger Dex, holding the bloodstained knife. He screamed in rage, shaking the walls of the cave. The cave started collapsing. The giant picked up lava from the walls and threw lava straight at Danger Dex. Danger Dex barely rolled out of the way. He pulled out his sniper rifle and tried to aim, but the giant bent his gun in half, then grabbed Danger Dex by the torso, holding him high above. I'll crush you, the giant said. Danger Dex had one last moment to do something. He pressed the electromagnetic pulse button on his belt and shocked the giant for just a moment for him to drop him. He ran between the giant's legs and stabbed him in both of them, sending blue blood falling onto the floor. Danger Dex sprinted deeper and deeper into the cave as the giant tried to follow him, but he was injured. He screamed and screamed and screamed. And even though Danger Dex was much deeper into the cave now, he still heard the giant crying for the woman that Danger Dex killed. It wasn't a test, you know. Danger Dex was panting. He had just killed an innocent woman. Yeah, he was supposed to be a supervillain, but even that was too much. She had been pure or something. He couldn't get the blood off of his knife, no matter how much he wiped it. You're such a bad guy, Dex, the cave said. Where are you? Danger Dex said. He swiped through the cave. Now it was abject darkness. So dark that he couldn't see his hand in front of his face. His infrared goggles didn't work, and he took them off of his face. He let his face be, naked in the darkness. And suddenly, he saw the thing in the cave. Danger Dex screamed. He tried to use mental exercises to hold onto his sanity when he saw the thing in the darkness. The thing was the darkness. He'd been inside the thing the entire time. It didn't have a body. It wasn't visible or invisible. He had been walking down its throat the entire time. Its metal throat, and then in its magma intestines. But now, he saw the thing's wide lizard face, with its hypnotizing spiral eyes looking at him. What's the matter, Dex? The cave said, looking at him with hundreds and hundreds of razor-sharp cybernetic steel teeth. Don't you want to make your wish? And as soon as that statement happened, the idea of doing anything beyond running was beyond Dex. Dex turned to run, but it was easy for the cave's pierced tongue to pierce through his leg and dangle him right in front of its face. It laughed, a deep laugh. Do you know what's funny about those who call themselves supervillains? Let me out of here, Dex said, screaming, crying. He had wanted power, but this was too much. He would do anything to go back to being normal. He would give being a supervillain up. He would try to run straight. They think, the cave said, that there's nothing darker than them. Do you want to know what it's like, Dexter? Dex screamed. He cried. He even prayed. He hadn't prayed since he was a little kid, but the cave didn't listen. What it's like to be truly bad. And he looked into the hypnotic spiral eyes of the cave creature. And Dex saw a version of himself. A version of himself that was callous. A version of himself that didn't care how many lives he had to take, because he had something to prove against people with superpowers. He saw a version of himself sniping flying superheroes out of the sky. A version of himself cutting down speedsters with ease. A version of himself laughing as superpowered children died. And the reason why Dex's mind broke, why his sanity snapped, is because everything Dex saw was true. He was irredeemably evil. The cave showed Dexter the evil within himself.